Welcome, everybody. This is Metal Inside Me. We are interviewing a Portugal metalcore band called Become Zero. And
Would you
so,
guys call yourselves metalcore?
yeah, we'll start off by
Yeah,
asking that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it's like DCP maybe like it's more metalcore-ish, if I could say that. The single, the Ocean Void, I think was more like a mixture of like soft core, like alternative metal and metalcore by the end. So yeah,
Hmm.
I think metalcore is a good
Okay.
a
Yeah.
good name tag for us.
We'll get into
Nice.
more of that later with some questions. But kick us off and everybody introduce yourself and tell us your role in the band.
Okay, so hi everybody. My name is Luis. I go for Lois, like in artist name, and I'm the vocalist. And yeah, that's it.
Okay, I'll go next. Hi, everybody. I'm Tomas. You can call me Tomas Gonze. That's my nickname. I'm the lead guitarist for the band and co-founder, and that's it.
Edgar, it's your turn, man.
I think he has a connection problem.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
Okay, so let's skip Edgar. Let's go like Miguel. Go ahead, introduce yourself.
Hello, my name is Miguel. I play bass, and I'm also the newest member of the band. I joined like three weeks ago.
Nice.
Marco.
Awesome.
Hi guys, I'm Marco, and I'm the drummer for this band. And I joined the band. I think it was like January of this year. I think so. Yeah, and that's it.
And what does Edgar do?
Oh, Edgar is the also the co-founder and the rhythm guitarist for the band.
Got it.
Awesome.
Nice. All right. Well, I guess we'll just move on. And Edgar, if you get your audio fixed at any point, feel free to just jump in. And I think you have a free pass to say whatever you want at this point. But if you guys wouldn't mind, would you tell us how the band got started and how each of you became involved in it?
Yeah, Tomas. Tomas, go
Yeah,
ahead and answer this.
So I'm about to go through the full story of the band. So me and Edgar were something. Yeah, we can say we're cousins, like really far apart. Um, and we were in the same school. He was playing some Arctic Monkeys song, and I went to him and I was like, dude, I just learned that song. Then we started playing with each other. We went to each other's house, and we had a friend. He wanted to play drums, so we started a band, but we were really just beginning to play our instruments. Later on, we met a friend. Her name is Laura. She'll be singing for one of the EP song. I think it's the starting one. Um, and then I think she met Louise and another bassist, and that's
Yeah,
how
yeah.
Louise came in. But initially it was our drummer. Yeah, then he moved on to vocals. Later on, so as he moved to vocals, we needed a new drummer, and that's when Edgar reached Marco, and we went in one session with him, and we were like, dude, this guy's amazing. And
It was
that's
actually quite funny because it was like this. He came in. He said, "I just had sent him like the demo of Blue River, which is the starting song for the EP." And he said, Okay, man, I'll try to learn it." So we weren't like expecting him like to know right away, and so we were just like, "Let's play Blue River," and everybody was like, "Yeah, yeah, yeah," and he just started playing like everything correctly. So we just like, "You're in the band, mate." Over, you're in the band.
And
Awesome.
moving on to Miguel, this is quite interesting. So there was this trend on Twitter that people would go around, play their instruments, doing covers, just playing. And I saw him playing Silvera by Gojira, and I was like, dude, this guy rocks. And I sent the video to Luis, and then Luis was like 2 hours later, he told me, "Yeah, I think Miguel is joining the band," and that was awesome.
Yeah, true. It was like that.
Yeah, we had our first rehearsal, and I was like, "Shit, I'm nervous as fuck." He sent me the musics like 2 days before the rehearsal. I had to learn them basically by ear. When we come to the rehearsal, I was like, "Dude, don't fuck this shit up, dude, please." When we start playing, it was like I knew them for years, you know.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
nice.
Yeah, we felt the same.
They are very very great.
Yeah, we can say the same thing about you, man. It's cool. Very cool.
Mm-hmm. Awesome, guys. So before we dive into some of the specifics in the EP, I think I speak for me and Chris when we want to tell you guys we were very impressed with this EP. I mean, seriously, like,
Yeah. First, we
Thanks,
really
man.
appreciate you guys sending us the masters ahead of time, because the EP really was really good. It was among one of the best EPs that we've gotten from a band that we've interviewed. So we'll lead with that going into talking about it.
yeah. So I guess tell us a little bit about how this EP came together, and if you want to talk about that first single, Oceans, you can talk about that as well.
Okay, so like actually Ocean Void was like the last song that we composed because we already had like the demos for the EP songs like basically structured, and we were supposed to start recording the EP in the studio where we actually recorded it, which is called Adrift Studio. It's a studio here in Viana do Castelo in Portugal. And with the coronavirus stuff and that's kind of shit, we had to delay the recording, so like for about 2 months maybe. So we started recording by the end of May. Yeah, and like it's actually a funny story. Blue River, it came together like in 2 days because I was like I had like this big party and I was just like completely hungover, and that's when my creativity peaks. So I just got home and I was like, shit, I got this idea, and like it's out of nowhere we had like a full song in 2 days. So that's how it came together. Um, but yeah, the EP like it's flowed naturally. We didn't like set a date for us to get it finished, you know. We just like we had 4 songs finished. We were like, these are cool, so let's record them. And we contacted the studio and we went there and yeah, we recorded it and had some amazing time there. Andre, which is the name of the producer of the studio, was really cool with us. So yeah, it was a great experience recording.
Nice. What were some of your inspirations going into making this record? You know, other than a hangover.
So I think like I speak for me, but I think for the band also. Um, like I listen a lot to Architects, you know, like
Same.
I'm a fanboy for Architects.
Yeah.
I like have every single fucking record of them. I have a shirt of them on also.
Yeah.
And I was also like a big fan of Deftones, Gojira, Dealer, and Alpha Wolf. They are
Yeah.
quite similar.
Yeah.
And yeah, some Tool maybe like in the clean parts. I think we can say we have some. But yeah, I think for the most it's like Architectish, Deftonish, Toolish, and yeah, maybe some Dealer.
Yeah.
Like for the
Well,
whole band.
I suppose I should add, since you brought up Architects, the first time I listened to Blue River, the back like fifth of that song, the outro, reminded me a lot of Follow the Water. That was actually the first thing I thought of. Yeah. So I can see it. Yeah.
I love that fucking song. It's fucking amazing.
Yeah, can I just add something up?
Yeah, absolutely.
Since we're talking about inspirations and in the EP, something very funny. I think you can notice that in The Worst of Me, which was previously called Moonlight. There's that neo soul intro, since Edgar is like very very fond of it. And when we were back in the studio, um, we had to finish composing the chorus because there was something missing. And then Luis just said, "What if you go Linkin Park?" And yeah, why not? And there's that, you know, there's the screams, and then there's those voices behind, like Shinoda used to do, and I think it went pretty cool.
Yeah, absolutely. I can totally see it, man. I think it turned out really, really well. Um, Anybody else want to add inspirations or something about the songwriting process?
Marco, do you want to add anything to the
Well,
inspirations?
I think that you just told everything, and yeah, you said everything. I haven't nothing to add.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, let's move on then. Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
All right.
So let's see. So I'm assuming I already know the answer to this question, but you guys have you guys been able to play any music live since the band formed?
Uh, like the main songs, like the heavy stuff, not really, because we just like when we released it, it's like when the epidemic just like got crazy. So, but we had like some street shows, you know, just playing some acoustic stuff. Like we just did it yesterday. We went like to the streets and played some acoustic stuff just for fun, you know, nothing really serious, just to make some money. And yeah, it turned out cool. We won some, and yeah, that we have fun doing it. So we love doing music, whatever it is. So yeah.
That is a really, really cool idea. You live in like a big city where I don't know, a lot of people were passing by. Tell us about what that was like.
I mean, it's not really a big city. We have like we are in the coast of Portugal, so we have beaches. So everybody from like the center of the country comes to the to go to the beach and stuff. And so we just like, yeah, let's play. we yeah, we just mounted our stuff like next to a statue, and we started playing. Like we didn't even like rehearse the songs. We just like, fuck it, let's learn them there. So but yeah, I think it went pretty well. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Do you guys have a strong local music scene in your part of Portugal? Lots
No.
of other bands. Oh no.
Yeah, no. For me at least, I think Miguel could speak a little bit better of this because he has a little bit of more knowledge on the local scene here. But it's like pretty dead. Like in this genre, there's not like big
People.
bands or anything like that.
I would say like the biggest band in our genre, it's probably like Moonspell. I don't know if you guys know it, but it's also a Portuguese band. They are very well known. They have been around for I think like since the 90s. But here in Portugal, the metal community is not very well accepted.
Mm,
Portugal is a very old country, so there are more old people than young people. So they are like, oh, hear a genre of music that we call here that is called pimba, which is like we call it music for the old people. It's
Traditional music.
it's like full auto tune, full synthesizers, zero guitar, basic drums, and that's it.
Can
And
you hear
old
me?
people are like, let's dance. I would say that's what describe Portugal as
Yeah, I think
music.
that's great.
We also last year, if I'm not mistaken, it was last year, right? We had our first like big metal festival
Yeah,
that was called Heavy
VOA, Vagos
Oh, Heavy
Open
Rock
Air.
VOA
Fest.
Vagos Open Air
Yeah, but
Heavy
like
Rock
it
Fest.
already happened before, but like there wasn't any like headliner band that was just like, whoa, these guys are coming here. No, it was like some
Yeah,
pretty small bands. But this last year we got Slipknot, While She Sleeps, Gojira, Lamb of God. It was fucking
Slayer.
Slayer.
Oh,
It was
Slayer.
fucking great.
oh,
Oh, fantastic.
that's awesome. Do you guys find that there's a lot of people your age who also like metal in Portugal?
It's like a pretty specific group of people, you know. So
Mhm.
you have like most people here listen to trap, Portuguese trap,
Mhm.
which I'm not really a big fan of. I have like an individual project where I mix trap and metal just for fun, you know. But it's not like a thing that I like. Oh, let's do this. No, it's just I don't like see anything special in that type of music, you know. So most people here are like not really into deep music. I think that's what metal is like some deep emotional like stuff, more complex, like emotionally. People here are more basic, you know. But we have
Yeah.
like about yeah, I wouldn't say like 10%, 20% of people my age like kind of listen to metal, and there's like these 10% of people like are really big fans of metal. I think that's the best way to describe it here.
Yeah, I have to what Luis said that I think Portugal is something of a culture of masses. So the media and what people of our age listen, as we said, is all about the trap. So when you're with your friends at school or your peers, they listen to trap. So you gotta listen to trap so you can fit in, and it's easy access. And to like metal in Portugal, as Miguel said, there's this huge band. It's a cult band. It's Moonspell. It's very well known in the foreign countries as well. But when you reach to someone or someone asks you what kind of music do you like, and you say metal, they're like, "Oh, so you like Moonspell? You're a big fan of them." But there's not like a very large knowledge of metal in Portugal, I'd say.
Mm. Right. Yeah, we have a little bit of a similar situation where Connor and I are. We live in the American Southeast in Tennessee, and so we're sort of familiar with that dynamic of being a bit of a musical minority among masses of trap listeners or country listeners or what have you. And people definitely tend to have preconceptions of what we listen to when we say metal, which is almost always off the mark just because of the utter breadth and the variety in the metal genre and its various subgenres. So I think Connor and I can definitely relate to what you're saying, and that's very interesting that that's how it works in Portugal, because something we're always trying to accomplish in these interviews is to find out what the musical landscape is like overseas.
Yeah. I would add to what Chris said is, and maybe it's just because there are just so many people in the United States, but we do find a lot more people our age like metal, and obviously there's so many local bands who are metal bands, and so many big name metal bands from America. Um, and maybe it's just because there's so many people here, but I guess it probably is a little bit more of a metal country, I guess, than Portugal from what you're describing to us.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can I just ask you guys a question?
Sure.
Yeah. I don't know if they're in the US. They associate very often metal with being depressed or being aggressive, but that's like a huge prejudice here in Portugal.
Yes, that does exist here. I don't know if it's to the same degree of severity as it would be in Portugal, but that definitely is an association that people have. And in the United States, at least in my experience, there's been a strong conflation or confusion between like emo culture and metal culture, and all styles of like basically guitar intensive music have sort of been rolled together in the eyes of a lot of people. And so yes, there is typically an association of aggression or being antisocial, or people sort of think that like something had to have happened to you to push you to metal. um, in this, you know, in the same way that if you do what I do most of the time in your t-shirt, people think that there must be, you must be kind of sad or something. Yeah.
Yeah, and I would say it's especially that stereotype about metalheads is especially true with older generations. You take people who are 50 plus, they all kind of think that about metal, as well as, I mean, in their time when they were growing up, it really was this whole different group of people who was into Metallica and the thrash scene. And so you see what I'm saying? Because nowadays, at least the people that me and Chris interact with, that you don't have to be a part of a subculture in every other part of your life to like metal. There's so many people who we would have no idea they like metal, but they do. They're just dudes. I mean, same with me and Chris.
Yeah.
We're just dudes. We don't really have to like be in a subculture completely submerged uh, to be a part of the metal scene.
Yeah,
I'm not
I
sure if
think
that.
like I can speak for the whole band. Like you look like Miguel, you can like kind of tell because he always wears like a band shirt. But
It's my
like
signature move.
yeah, but like most of the band, you look at us like yeah, just like normal people. Yeah, everybody's normal, but then you pick up our earphones and it was like yeah, what the fuck is this shit? Yeah, but yeah, like I've met like some people here where like you look at them and you like she listens to like Taylor Swift and yeah she listens to Slipknot and stuff, but that's really rare here. It's like a one in a hundred people. It's really rare.
Yeah. So with all of that said, talking about how there's a little bit of like a metal minority, I want to ask you guys what you think of as the future of the band, what your goals are, particularly since, as you've described, you're in an area where there's a relatively small metal scene. So where do you want to take this?
So I think like the next step for us is to like start playing frequently when everything comes down, at least.
Mhm.
And with the release of this EP, we are hoping like we can reach more people like from every part of the world, which I think we will like kind of succeed, but I hope we really do because we put our heart and souls recording this, and it's hard here in Portugal to see a band having success nowadays. But like we had some like kind of famous people here in Portugal who reacted to our songs and they loved it. They really loved. We had so we these last days we had some great feedback on Twitter and stuff from people with some following here in Portugal. So that gives me like hope for the future of the band because I see there's people here in Portugal who appreciate our music and who will see us live here. But our like big goal and our objective is to go out of Portugal.
Mhm. Do you know what the steps are? Is it easier being living in Europe to be able to go to other countries and play smaller shows and tour around?
I mean, it would be yeah. I think it's easier like in the US because you can like tour the country itself. You know, here in Portugal we don't have like a lot of places to play. Discarding like bars and stuff, but like in Germany there's a big metal community there, so we are hoping someday we can like go to there and play, and maybe the UK. That's like we want to start playing here so we get some cool public, some cool people following us, and so we can have like the chance of someone calling and saying, yeah, I want to take you on a tour with us like through Europe. And that's like our biggest dream. We want to make this like our jobs.
Yeah.
I will basically like for for us to start, I would say like at least we try to tour um, the whole country on the bars that accept our type of music, and like into a bigger step, I would say we try our best to tour around Spain since it's a big country and it's close
Yeah.
to us. And the metal community there is also great. They are they love Spanish people fucking love metal. So I would say if we try our best to tour Spain to like make ourselves like, hey, we are here, we make ourselves like present. I would say for the start that would be a very good path to go.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, one thing I would like to add to this is also one of the biggest advantages you guys have is being in the age of the internet, and you can be gaining a bunch of fans in the US and all over just from them getting exposed to your music. And I
Yeah,
want
like
to,
that's like
yeah. Oh,
the
sorry,
the goal
you
of
go.
the goal like of the EP itself. It's like to like, as we know we cannot like play right now. We are hoping we like maybe we can reach like some label or stuff, and they listen to us and they're like, we can make money with these guys and help them grow. And yeah, I
Hmm.
think we'll try our best like to do the marketing correctly through the internet.
Hmm.
Yeah, but continue what you were about
Just
to say.
like I'm sorry, just like Luis said, we are just like we can play right now live. I had the idea to make a live stream in my grandma's house. It's a fucking huge house. I was like, why not make a live stream of us playing in my grandma's house? We live stream it to Twitch, YouTube, Facebook. Maybe it will be fun for people to get to know us since we can play live right now. I think it's a good idea.
Hmm. No, that's a great idea because if people like your EP, it almost would form a more personal connection to the band seeing you guys play it live. And the last point I was just about to say is just I do really encourage you guys to get this out there as much as you can on the internet because like me and Chris listen to a lot of metal and your music definitely stands out. I mean, we
Yeah.
called you guys metalcore at the start. Um, but we do really think you guys are, you have that bass metalcore sound, but you're doing things in your music that really make you stand out amongst all the metalcore. I mean, you're making it unique, and that's really great.
Yeah, I want to note that while I noticed the Architects' influence when I was listening, you guys by no means sound like Architects. And there are so many metalcore bands that sound like Architects right now that
True.
if you can be influenced by them and not play the Doomsday Riff, then you've got my stamp of approval.
But yeah, that's
Yeah.
like awesome to hear. It's um like the approach we have to like composing. The composing like works like I normally. It really depends on my mood. I can like not do shit like for an entire month, and I can like finish 2 songs in 2 days.
Yeah.
So it's like I'm always like sending audios and stuff of new riff ideas, and I'm just, do you like this? And yeah, what you would you play next and stuff. And I end up like making the base of the music, like the basics, the structure, and then everybody comes in and starts. I want to change this. I make this lead better, and yeah, go ahead. It's like it's the funnest part. It's when we are all together in a call, just like going through the music and saying, what if we did this here, and that's how, because we have like Edgar is like a great jazz player, and so we have this like jazz chords influence, because I always call Edgar and I say, Edgar, give me a chord progression. And he just gives me this crazy stuff. That's how actually Born Sick, the chorus rhythm, that's how it came to be. I was like, give me this chord progression which makes me feel like desperate, but not really sad, but also quite depressing. And he says, I got you, man. And that's how it came to be, basically. Yeah.
That's awesome. That's
One
awesome.
thing that I think, since we are a new band, a lot of people don't know it's their ages because I'm 20 years old and they are all between 16 and 17 years old.
Oh, man,
And
Wow.
super impressive.
I was like, the first rehearsal, so I went and talked to Luis and said, oh, so you're like 18, 19 years, and he told me, I'm 17. I was like, you what?
Wow.
Wow, guys.
So I was really blown away since they're so young and make the type of music that they make and do it with, como é que eu digo, tipo uma perna às costas.
Make it look so easy.
Easily, yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they do it so easily. I was like, dude, these guys are amazing.
So Miguel,
Yeah.
you're the oldest member.
Yes, I'm the oldest. I'm 20, but I will turn 21 in this year. So I
Yeah.
can say I'm their parent, basically.
He's the one that gets us booze and alcohol. He's the guy.
Yeah,
Well, in year,
absolutely.
how old do you have to be in Portugal to buy alcohol?
18. We don't have like the restriction of 21.
Mm,
But if you want to buy cigarettes and everything, you just have to be 18 plus.
okay.
But like, I go to like a supermarket and I
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
pick up a chunk of beers and no one asks me my age. I don't know
Yeah.
if it's like because I have a mustache or just because if they don't care, you know. But I think it's mostly they don't give a fuck with
Yeah,
the
here in
activity.
Portugal, they only are interested in selling and not
Yeah.
asking for the age. I would say
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. Yeah. I I don't know. I don't know if I really want to go off on this tangent, but we have an interesting relationship to things like that here in the United States because we have these really really stringent, like tight, strict policies, but we have like tons of addiction and opioid abuse and alcoholism, and it's really really strange, and it's hard to tell sometimes which one is the chicken and which one is the egg. Um, so, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we have to keep in mind that we actually banned alcohol in this country for a while, and that didn't work out.
Not at all.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
anyway, back to musical stuff. I wanted to ask you guys, what is the most meaningful experience that you've had as a band up to this point?
I think we can say the recordings.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It was like it was amazing, man. When we got there and we saw like the mics and everything like set up, we was like, what the fuck? We are really doing this, man. And yeah, we were just like, I was in all the sessions. Like, there were sessions where it was me, Tomas, and Edgar, and others with Marco and me and stuff. So we were always like making jokes and like having fun really while recording. So it was like
Yeah, and
something that changed our vision from the band.
yeah, adding up to our goals and what we were talking about earlier, I think one of our main goals is to, you know, get our name out there, get a studio or a label so we can play all day long, compose stuff there.
Yeah,
Because we went in with the demos, but we changed a lot and we came up with lots of ideas there.
yeah. I actually like wrote some of the lyrics like in the moment. I was just like,
Yeah,
I don't think this fits here, and I was like, and I just like recorded straight away with the new lyrics, and yeah, it came out.
yeah. In the recordings of Born Sick, I think that was for me like the big moment. And me and Edgar, we were just laying in the ground, and Luis was singing. We had to be really quiet, and we just, reached our hands saying repeat, or no, try to do this way or the other way. And then we came up with that breakdown, like super aggressive and raw, and we were just like, "Whoa, dude, we gotta do this again."
Yeah, I loved it. Yeah.
That's awesome. So, what has been the biggest struggle you guys have faced as a band?
Um, I think I would say this is not a struggle anymore, but it used to be like a place for us to rehearse, where we could like make a lot of noise. Because here like in the cities where we Marco came in when we were playing in a school, because I like was the vice president of the like, I don't know how to
Student
say it in
council.
English. Yeah,
Yeah.
student council. And like I had this idea where I was like, if I say that I'm going to give like music classes to students here, maybe I can put like the band stuff in this room and we can rehearse it here. So every Saturday morning, yeah, we went there
Yeah.
and we rehearsed. Yeah, and but yeah, it was really hard to find a place where we could start to take things to the rehearsal level. So yeah, but now I think that the big struggle now is um the the reaching out to people, you know. If it weren't for the internet, we wouldn't go anywhere at all.
Yeah,
because
and we're very grateful to be here, and
yeah,
thank you guys for
also thanks a lot.
welcoming us
Oh yeah, no problem.
because that's the struggle. I think there's I mean there are lots of good bands, and there are, I know many people that they really rock, but they never pass the 1,000 streams on Spotify, and you know, music life is tough, and that's what we were saying back then when we were talking about connections and people reacting to our music. That's how our focus, like in a short scale time, we're just trying to get the music out there, and that's a big struggle for us.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I agree, 100%.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I mean, that's the whole point, guys. That's why we have you here, and we're happy to have you here. And it's always a pleasure when we open up a new EP and it turns out being really, really good. So, especially since you guys are teenagers, I think in the next decade, you guys, if you keep this up, you would be just fine. Um,
Yeah.
I
Thanks.
think Connor would agree. Yeah.
Hmm. Agreed.
Yeah. So I think that we've reached the point in the interview where if there's anything you want to ask us, anything you want to plug, or anything that you want to talk about that we haven't gotten to, feel free to just bring it up and we'll cover it right now.
Yeah, I think one thing I would like to cover is like the lyrics in this EP, because they are like in each song they have like a quite specific meaning, while also being like open to different interpretations. Because I invested a lot of time writing the lyrics for this EP, and like if you listen to Blue River, I don't know what you guys like. Maybe I'll start by asking what you guys like got of the lyrics of the songs in the EP. If you like, what kind of meaning did you took from it and stuff?
So I can start out, which is to say that this is actually kind of going off on a different subject, but uh, lyrics to me, it takes me. So you sent us the lyrics, and I read them. Uh, a lot of times, especially in metal music, and this is the case with a lot of other music, is it's hard to really absorb the lyrics your first couple listens through. Because I listened to the EP probably 3 or 4 times, and unfortunately, I didn't listen to the EP while reading the lyrics. But as I did read, so lyrics are kind of like like an afterthought just to my listening enjoyment, and that doesn't take away any bit from my enjoyment of the music. But uh yeah, as I did read through the lyrics, I could definitely see some big themes were frustration and kind of using metaphors like a blue river, things of that sort, just to kind of work through emotions, and that's kind of what I got from it.
Right. So I should probably also put a disclaimer before I start talking, just that I got to listen to your EP twice, and I haven't been able to like really, really dig into the lyrics. But I will answer your question because I don't think that you deserve to have two dodges on answering that question. So when I was listening to Blue River in particular, I thought that it was sort of interesting that, and you may completely disagree with me about this, but it almost seemed as if the lyrics and the way that they made me felt in a vacuum, which is to say on their own, was almost in conflict with the way that the music itself made me feel. So Blue River in particular, you have this pulsing, energetic guitar riff that is sort of contrasted with lyrics that sort of make me static is the word that I want to use, but as if something is happening to me instead of I'm actually doing something. And so I'm not going to endeavor to try to tell you what your songs mean. I can only describe how they make me feel. And I certainly, on that song in particular, the song made me feel this weird contrast between sort of like if you were, you know, drowning and not fighting it, but then simultaneously the guitar riffs and the drums and the progression of the song overall made me feel very energetic, as if I did want to do something about whatever it is that I was dealing with, suffering through, etc. And I know that that was just sort of a ramble, but I was trying to express my feelings to you when I genuinely haven't had enough time to get a concrete understanding of the way that I feel. So I'll pass it back to you if you would like to
Yeah,
explain or so
actually,
on.
you got like Blue River, like quite well. The meaning. It's like the song is like about you wanting to be someone or something that
Hmm.
you say you want to be, but you like are pressured like by everyone else and by yourself at the same time. That's you shouldn't maybe be that person, you know.
Mm.
There's a part of the song where it says that they want us to flood with their visions, which
Mm.
is like I think like mostly here in Portugal everybody just has the same kind of life, you know, just study, work and die, you know. And that's not how I see myself living it, you know. And but other people see it like for me that I should live that way. And like I think most people here in Portugal suffer from that like inner conflict, you know, between being someone they want to be and being someone they think they should be, you know. That's
Mm.
basically what Blue River is about.
Yeah.
um but like the other songs like Born Sick is actually like a deeper song because when I wrote Born Sick, my father's wife was suffering from cancer.
Mm.
And so I was like thinking what a song would be like if I wrote it on a perspective of a kid who had cancer like at a really young age, but had our like developed consciousness, you know, so he could think straight. So
Hmm.
it's like inner conflict between asking why and uh, what did he do to deserve like this kind of suffering, but also like the acceptance and the journey of the disease itself. Hornet's Nest, it's like we are actually doing a lyric video for it because the lyrics are more shifted to like religion stuff. It's like I'm an atheist. I think most of the band actually is atheist, and um, I like I write a lot about God and how I think people um, misrepresent what religion actually does to us as a collective, you know. So the song, the Hornet's Nest ends with "Don't look at the sky when I'm here by your side," because I think people often reach for religion like for emotional support and like some to give some strength, but they forget that we have like family and friends and we are like all the same, you know. Should we like we just should like grip each other and not let the others down, you know. So I think that's the approach I took in that song. And the worst of me, it's like a self reflection basically, just like um me reflecting on my own thoughts and my own doubts and stuff. It's more of a personal song in
Right.
contrast to the others.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. You know, I think I should note that the reason why I forgot to ask the lyrics question without being prompted was because, you know, it's not very often that we encounter bands, particularly with EPs and things, who have put that level of effort into their lyrics. I don't know what it is about that, but, you know, a lot of people just generally sort of quote unquote write what they're feeling. And I'm not saying that that's not what you've done here, but I think that Connor and I both greatly appreciate this level of explanation
Oh
and
yeah.
effort that has gone into lyricism, because it is not particularly common, despite how common lyricism is. You know, and I myself am a writer, um, and so I definitely appreciate that level of introspection that's gone into your lyricism. Um, I'm curious. Do you? I know you've just explained them all individually. Um, do you have any common threads that unify the songs, or are you comfortable with this EP just being four separate experiences?
um it's like I write the lyrics like so metaphorically, so in a level they kind of speak about each other. Like the songs, like have stuff in common. Like Blue River and The Worst of Me, it's like the self conflict of wanting to be someone, but at the same time not feeling like that's the person you should be. And I think like Hornet's Nest also jumps in that kind of theme where people like grab onto themselves. Like people just change depending on like the persons they're with, you know, instead of sticking to themselves. And I think, yeah, Born Sick is also like metaphorically without the meaning of the disease and the cancer stuff. It's like also about some self-reflection on death, maybe.
Right.
And so I think they all connect in that kind of self-doubt of what I'm going to be. Or I think that also reflects on the fact that I'm 17 and I don't really know how my future will like be in the next like 10 years. So it's like the doubt, I think, reflects into the lyrics. Yeah, definitely, that's it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And I know this is just a practical question, but I wanted to ask, you said earlier, you know, that you call Edgar up and you're like, hey, can you write me a riff or a chord progression that corresponds with these feelings? So is that to say that the lyrics, do they get written before the songs, or do they happen at the same time or afterward, or what?
Yeah, write the lyrics like at the same time because I
Okay.
know what when I initially start a song, I think what is this going to be about, you know? So like for the example of Born Sick, I knew it would be about that suffering and desperateness of the disease. So I described that kind of feelings to Edgar, and he told me, "I got you." And he composed that chord progression, and I then composed the rhythm of the chords and like those funny things in between. And yeah, I just then it goes with the flow, and feel like um, I feel like in the verse, I think this should be like more of asking why I'm in this state, and like the chorus is more of like acceptance, and then you have like the breakdown. It's like the anger of being like that and don't not having like a reason to deserve it, you know. I think it's like the mix of emotions that come out of that song's subject, if I could say that. They come like in waves while I'm writing the songs.
That's excellent, man. That's great. Is there anything else that anybody else would like to talk about that we haven't covered yet?
So Tomas, do you want to say anything else?
I don't know. I think we covered the most part of it. So yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, same.
Is
And
there anything else you want to ask us?
no, I just wanted to also add for everybody listening in the description, there will be links to all of your music, everything. So definitely, if you're listening to this and you haven't heard this new EP, go listen to it right now.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll be
Actually,
promoting you. Yeah. Go
we
on.
are not going
What's
to
that?
listen right now because it only comes out day 30. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
we'll
that's right.
Yeah,
we'll
yeah.
be releasing it the same day, this interview.
Yeah.
So when this is out, so will the EP.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
I forgot. I completely forgot. Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
my bad, man. You're right. You're right.
Well,
You should listen
one
to the EP right now.
yeah.
one way or another, we'll be promoting you guys, and who knows? Maybe one day in the future, Connor and I will be in Portugal, and there will not be a world-ending virus, and we'll come see you guys play.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Or maybe we'll probably come to the
Yeah.
US.
I was
That's
going to
true.
say
Right.
that.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that'd be fantastic. If you guys ever find your way to Nashville, hit us up, and we will definitely
Oh,
come see you guys.
so you
Yes.
guys are from Nashville?
Yes,
We are. We're from Nashville. Yeah.
Oh, that's nice. You have that huge guitar center there, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, I've heard of it. So yeah, I
Yeah.
think if you get to tour on the US, I think Edgar will be pretty stoked to be in there. So yeah, for sure, we'll stop there.
Yeah, we're in
I want to try
the
Chipotle.
Yeah, sure.
fully
Yeah.
solid, and of
I
course,
want to really try it.
it's pretty great. Uh,
Yeah.
it's funny that me and Chris find ourselves living in the country music capital of the world.
Yeah, and yet we don't listen to any country music at all.
True, I was actually going to ask you if country music was like the biggest thing in like in your region, because I know like for the southeast region or southwest, I know that there's because of the accent actually. Uh, I often associate the accent to the country music, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Now this is a.
It's
Oh, sorry. You go.
go on, Connor.
I was gonna say it's a little subjective. Now, I would probably say about 10 years ago, everybody my age loved country music, especially in this region. Uh, but generally, at least with people my age that I interact with, it's probably about the third most popular. It goes hip hop, pop, and then probably country amongst our age group.
Yeah. Something I've noticed though, and I don't know what this says about our region of the country, but I play guitar myself. And whenever people over the age of like 25 find out that I play guitar, they immediately ask me if I play country music. I'm not exactly sure what that means, but I've had it happen a good handful of times. Is people will be like, "Oh, do you play Thomas Rhett songs or whatever?" I'm not familiar with country music, so I don't know. But people do kind of assume that musicians in this area play country music, which does make a good deal of sense because there are quite literally just thousands of country musician buskers on the streets of Nashville every day.
Yeah,
So yeah.
very true.
here happens the same, but with Pimba that Miguel talked about. There's like this show that goes on every Sunday afternoon here in Portugal, which is like the dumbest thing ever because everyone knows they're not actually singing because like the guitars are not connected, and sometimes you don't even like hear guitars in the song they're playing over it. The drums are like fake drums, you know. You like immediately notice when you look at it they are fake, and like
Mhm.
the vocalist is like completely not singing what you're hearing, so and it's
Oh,
just like a bucket
Yeah,
full of bullshit here.
I,
Just
yeah.
yeah.
And a fun
Yeah.
fact, I think we should add is that Edgar used to play in one of those bands of Pimba music. He was hired
yeah.
by a singer. Um, and that's how we met Marco actually, because the drummer of the band, I think he knew Marco if I'm not mistaken. And yeah, so I'm grateful for the existence of Pimba music. So that's how we met Marco.
Nice. Nice.
Awesome. Well, everybody, I think that pretty much brings our interview to a close. Again, I want to thank all of you guys for joining us. Me and Chris love the EP. Everybody listening, look in the description, go check out their music. Become Zero. Whew, fantastic.
Yeah. Thank you guys so much for your time.
Yeah,
Yeah,
thanks for
thank you.
having
We
us, man.
appreciate it.
Thank you
Yeah.
so much.
Thank you guys.
No problem. See you guys.